Narinig ba ako? Oh, yeah. Narinig ako. Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hi, it's me again. It's Azael. Kamusta kayong lahat? How is everyone doing? Uh, Tonight we're not gonna do an ML stream tonight because I'm prepping for a, what's gonna change to? Does this go na ano? That's weird. Sige na lang. Kaya na lang natin yan. Bakit ganito yung nasa ano ko? Wait. Hold on. Stream info. Ano yung nasa stream info? Is this ko yung nakalagay? What? Just chatting to dapat eh. Nasave. Ayan, nasave na. Hi Kazu! Welcome, welcome! I'm prepping for an art event this weekend. And I'm doing some inventory kasi we need to check our stocks and all of that shizaps. And I was thinking about practicing my uh enunciation and how I would usually talk about my ideas and stuff. So that's why we're gonna talk about a topic that I think I know quite well. We're gonna talk about dating. Because I think a lot of people are sorely mistaken when they go into dating nowadays, especially the young people, because you you have a very misguided it's not you specifically a person, but like a lot of people are misguided by social media on how dating really is actually, and that a lot of people also have um they need a lot of healing first before they go into a relationship, and that usually causes a lot of grief in the relationship. Lagi kayo nag-aaway, lagi kayo nagtatampuhan, among other stuff, and red flags are actually not, what do you call that, they're not that bad as long as hindi siya umaabot sa ano. May mga red flags ako that I think needs to be, what's this term, that people need to look not look out, but they need to be careful about. Yeah, because you know might not, I'll put like a chat box. Some people might think that, oh, okay lang yan, this it's fine, this and that, but it's actually not. I'm a firm believer that before you start a relationship with anybody, okay, this is for everyone, all right, for all kinds of genders, all right. As a person, you should, my biggest recommendation as a person is that you know yourself first before you start dating. You know what you like, you know what you dislike, you know your preferences, you know a lot of things. It's a lot of self confidence and knowing of the self. Ayan siya. Yun yung pinaka first talaga, is you are working on your unhealed traumas, yung mga biases mo. You are also open-minded. I think being open-minded is also one of the most important things about being in a relationship, because it needs you need to be a receiver of ideas from the other person, and you also have to be a giver. Actually, kailangan mo ding magkaroon ng sarili mong personality, because what I see from a lot of young people dating now, you there's an expectation that you don't actually say. There's an expectation that you don't say to your partner when you start dating. Like, okay, sabihin na natin, in in the dating scene, men are usually the ones men are usually the ones who are um assigned ka na manligaw, right? You're the first one to always make a move. Kasi biyahe if babae yung manligaw sa iyo or whatever, right? Or whatnot. I think we should like abolish that, because I firmly believe that if you like somebody, regardless of gender, you should be able to express your feelings to them, you know? And meron kasi tayong, sa atin kasi in the Philippine, I think in the Filipino dating scene, makaluma yung ibang, there's still a makalumang pananaw to a very traditional outlook when it comes to like women asking men out, because some people think that it's too liberal, or masyadong ano siya, what's the term, masyadong aggressive, I think. But I hope that we do away with that, because you'll never know yung like mo pala na person, if you're a girl, if you're a woman, yung like mo pala na person is that uh they like you but they're very shy, because they think that you're out of their league or something like that. So if you like somebody, just hey, just say something like, hey, I like your style, I like this about you, I kind of want to get to know more about you. Is it okay if I ask you out? Okay. They could say, sorry, I have a boyfriend or whatever, but you gotta try, okay? Because you'll never know. Hold on, let me just count something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's 18 of this. Okay. 18. Right. This one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. What mas madami to? Significantly. 26. Where was I? Okay, so for example, let's say, all right, number 1 is that you gotta know yourself. Okay, that's a number 1. You know your preferences. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng preferences? Preferences is like, for example, you prefer someone who doesn't smoke. Yan. A preference can be a non-negotiable. Okay? Ano yung non-negotiable? It's it's a quality or trait of a person that you're looking for that cannot be changed. Alright? Like, for example, let's say you want to date someone who who doesn't smoke, doesn't have any vices, doesn't go out clubbing or something like that. Yeah, that's your non-negotiable. So a guy approaches you and you get to know each other. You're not dating yet, all right? And then you find out you both like each other, and then you find out that they smoke, or they have a vice, or they drink. They like to drink almost like every week or whatever. And you don't like people who drink, and you don't like people who smoke. That's your preference. You don't like people who have vices, right? So you won't date them because they have vices, right? That is a non-negotiable. But if you really like them, like you, let's say, you can change that non-negotiable. Depende pa rin yan sa'yo, because that's your choice, right? But let's say you prefer someone who, what's a an easy one, who lives in the same city, for example, right? That's a preference. Someone who lives in the same city, who prefer someone who's taller than you, someone who has a car, preference, still a preference, okay? Those are things that you can change, but your non-negotiables usually are things that is rooted with your principles as a person. Let's say principles as a person. Yan siya. I had a discussion before with a friend of mine when we were in like a car, and say the preference was that they prefer someone who is chinita. That's physical appearance. You prefer someone who has a physical appearance of someone that you're attracted to. Mahaba ang buhok, straight yung buhok, matangkad, petite. Yeah, that's a preference. You prefer that. But if you meet someone whom you like, with a good personality, vibe kayo sa lahat, but they're not matangkad, let's say. And you don't mind that. You don't mind that they're not matangkad. You'll date them, right? Because the preference is just there. It doesn't matter if they're matangkad or not. Hello? Hello, Kyle. Welcome, Kuya. Hi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think people don't know how to adjust with that. They don't know how to adjust the preference versus your non-negotiables. So before you start dating, you have to know muna in yourself, what do I prefer and what is my non-negotiable. So like for me, for example, my preference was someone who is taller than me, but my non-negotiable is someone who doesn't smoke. I don't like smoking. Yeah, my brother smokes, so I don't like that. I don't like smoking. Oh my god, Kuya. Welcome. How are you? How is the ranking these past few weeks? I stopped muna kasi I need a little break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ay, mali. Mali yung kinount ko na sticker. Okay. So, another way to know if you're going to jive with this person is how they behave when you are not around, right? And also, like, you ask their friends, like, how is this person? Kamusta naman si ganito? What do you like about them? Or whatever. You ask the people around them. But if that doesn't, if hindi siya, what do you call that? If that's not an available option for you, hindi available na magtanong ka sa mga friends niya, hindi kayo close. You observe how they treat the people around them, especially service crew. Yan. That's a really big telltale? Yeah, telltale. If this person is a good person to be with, because if they're mahilig silang mag-gossip, mahilig silang manira ng ibang tao, unprompted. Ano ibig sabihin ng unprompted? Wala kang tinanong, wala kang sinabi na anything. They just said, uy, si ganito, ganyan, and bukang bibig nila is just, say talk shit about people, stuff like that. And I think it it shows character, a person's character, when they talk shit about people that's not there. Generally, it's not good to talk shit about anybody, especially the people you, especially your friends, for example. Yeah, that's really bad. You have bad friends if they talk shit about you towards other people. It's 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 with relationships, the dating type, and then friends as well. Teka lang. Ah. Another thing is that before you date, you also need to learn how to compromise. Ano ibig sabihin ng compromise? Ano yun? What's that term? Ati Azail, I don't know what that is. Compromise is when you sacrifice a little bit to make the other person, a partner, for example, or a friend, it can be any, to make them more comfortable. But you also have to, dapat may discernment. Dapat kilatisin mo if the compromise is beneficial to you and to the other person. Pero kasi hindi dapat always na ikaw lang yung mag-compromise. Dapat dalawa kayo. Dapat it's the both of you. Alright? You gotta learn how to compromise as well. Kasi mahirap siya when you don't know how to do that and you're dating. Like, for example, let's say, what's a good example? You cannot, okay, this one. For example, nag-date kayo, right? Nag-date kayo, and then, you're going out to watch a movie. Let's say, manonood kayo ng movie, and then, something came up, and your partner apologizes, and you say, babe, sorry, I can't today. Can we reschedule tomorrow or the next weekend, because ganito, I have an emergency or something came up. And then you as the partner, hindi ka magtatampo. You will understand mo rin na the situation is beyond the control. Kasi if magtampo ka and the situation is beyond the control of the other person, that means you don't know how to compromise. Hindi ka marunong mag-adjust. Same lang yan sa ML eh. Kapag dalawa kayo sa lane, tas ikaw, ayaw mo mag-adjust or ayaw nilang mag-adjust, de, talo na kayo kasi pareha kayong nasa mid lane. Or pareha kayong nasa gold lane. Walang magja-jungle or mag-EXP. Ganun lang siya. It's quite difficult, because this before you start dating, you need to self-reflect. Mahirap siya because you have to confront the things that you don't like about yourself. It's very important that you recognize the things that you don't like about yourself or other people don't like about yourself. How would you know this? You reflect. Yeah. Mahirap siya, no? It's easy to say stuff like this, honestly. It's so easy to say stuff like this. But it's hard for a lot of people because nobody likes to confront the bad things about them. Okay? Because there are things that you, kailangan mong gawin to be able to become better. Kung gusto mong masaya ka, and you feel like because of the bad things that you do, or let's say behavior or traits, if you want people to be happy, you want to be happy with people, and you want people to be happy with you, for example, you gotta change those. Let's say, okay, for example, lagi kang flaky. Ano yon? Yung pag inaya ka, tas nag-oo ka na, ganito, you already committed, and then in the last minute or something, you say stuff like, oh, I'm sorry, di pala ako makakapunta, or whatever, last minute, and you always do it every time, like, almost every time somebody asks you out, or inaya ka somewhere, and you already you said yes, you committed, but you didn't go through with it. People will not like that. And if your friends are true friends, they will tell you that ganyan ka. Dude, ganyan ka lagi. Why can't you like do something about that or whatever? And when the people around you, yung pinaka close mo and your good friends, they tell you that, believe them, and self-reflect, and then, kasi nagiging root yan, nagiging source yan ng resentment with friendship. I had someone like that years ago. Someone like that was in my life, that we would ask them out, we would invite them to go to places and stuff like that, and they would always flake at the last moment, you know and it's not good, because you're trying to be inclusive, right? You want to be included, in stuff, you want to show up for your friends, but you always flake kasi ganito, hindi ka nakapaganda, wala kang pera and stuff like that. Just say so, just say so, or tell them like, I can't this time, I have to do something, and maybe your friends just want to hang out somewhere na hindi kailangan gumastos, stuff like that. Friends will make ways, to bond with you and to be with you. Ganyan din siya sa relationship, actually. So like, for example, don't be flaky kasi nobody likes that. It's a difficult thing to really confront the things that you don't like about yourself and people don't like about yourself. It's a difficult thing to change. But it's a choice. So kailangan mo piliin kung ano makakabuti sa'yo. It's really difficult. It's easy to say stuff like this, but it's difficult to do kasi we don't like, it's human nature to be, ganito ba ako? But some people are also like, I'm like this, that's why people don't like me, ganito ako, whatever. Very negative things. And then, that in itself is also not good, because puro ka lang negative and you don't really do anything about it. That's also a bad thing. Yeah. And you cannot be in a relationship when you are like that, because mag-aaway lang kayo, mag-break up, and then you'll have a heartbreak, and paulit-ulit lang siya, cycle paulit-ulit, ikot lang, ganon. And you won't be happy. You'll always be miserable. So you gotta learn a lot about yourself, because if you don't, other people will tell you. Yeah. Number one talaga yan. And ano pa nga? If you have trauma, heal that first before you start in a relationship. Like, let's say you had an ex and they cheated on you. For example, they cheated on you, and of course that's a really bad thing. They cheated on you, you're not happy about it, and then you got into a new relationship without healing the past trauma of, your boyfriend, the things that your ex did, boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, all the things that they did that gave you trauma, you didn't address that, hindi mo yan siya hinil, and you jump into another relationship, the trauma that you had, it will stay. Yeah. You'll be suspicious of your partner, hindi ka, what's the term? Hindi ka magiging trustworthy? No. It's the other way around. Yes. Hi, Ray. Yes, I'm also live in YT. In, in YouTube. Naka-multi-stream ako. So, what was I talking about? Ito, inom muna akong konting tubig. Hindi ko nakikita yung chat sa YT. Wait lang. Charis. Bakit ano? Hindi siya lumalabas. Ah, wait lang, wait lang. Wala akong nakikita sa chat. Mag-chat ka nga, Ray? Hello? Bakit wala akong nakikita? Nag-i-emote ka na pala. So, bakit bakit nag-i-error? Ano ka? Wait a minute. Wala pa siya. Participants. Walang tao sa chat. Wala ka, uy. Bakit? Bakit? Hindi ko makita yung chat sa Weirdly enough. Nag-i-emo na ako dun sa chat. Wala akong makita, Ray. Di siya di siya nag-reflect. That is so weird. Sana ba ako? Maybe I need to next time I'll do something else. Something else. I'll check the settings kasi ang weird naman na hindi ko nakikita yung chat sa YouTube. That's ayun, nakita ko na. Ba't kasi dalawa yung Steam sa SS sa YT ate? Dalawa ba? Teka lang. Naka-vertical pala yung isa. Yo. Connected. Tapos ito. Ahead.